Wow, so after an update last week, guys, we have another update with Daredevil Born Again. This time, instead of a synopsis or more cast members, we have a big headline here. Apparently, Daredevil and the people over at Marvel have hit the reset button, and Marvel is planning to overhaul its TV business. Now, this is coming out of The Hollywood Reporter, and Daredevil Born Again paused production mid-June, and it was fewer than half of the series' 8 episodes had been shot and in the can by that time, but it has given Kevin Feige enough time to review the footage, and according to this article in The Hollywood Reporter, they came away with an assessment. The show was not working. Apparently, the direction they wanted to go with the Daredevil series on Disney Plus was not working for them, and this makes me wonder if this will be the case with more upcoming TV shows. And they say that the studio is now on the hunt for new writers and directors for the project, which will still star Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock, and we still will have the cast list that I read last week with Frank Castle and other cast members. We will have Vincent D'Onofrio back as well. So the cast isn't touched, but they are absolutely overhauling the TV. Now, just diving a little bit more into this article, it does say reportedly the show was going to be about a legal procedural that did not resemble the Netflix version, which is known for its action and violence. Cox didn't even show up in costume until the 4th episode. Marvel, after greenlighting the concept, found itself needing to rethink the original intention of this show. And I 100% agree. We don't want to go 4 episodes without seeing Charlie Cox's Daredevil. That is not the way to go, but that was the way they had decided to take it, and I think a revamp is a really good way to go. Now, they were not doing TV in a traditional making model. Marvel didn't commission pilots, but instead they shot the entire show, $150 million plus shows of the TV seasons on the fly, and they didn't hire show writers, but they depended on film executives to run the shows. And once it got to post-production, they would just cut out and replace and reshoot things that they didn't like. And that is not the way to go, guys. You know, shooting an entire show and then coming back and editing it, listen, that's okay when it comes to a YouTube video, but a TV series needs to be mapped out. And so that's the direction they want to move. I do believe that this could be a step in the right direction to get them to where they want to go, because a lot of people have not enjoyed the Marvel TV shows. And we look at She-Hulk and we look at Secret Invasion. I loved She-Hulk personally, but we look at the reception of these shows lately, and they have not been that good, unfortunately. And the Daredevil revamp is the latest in growing pains for Marvel TV. WandaVision came out in January 2021 and brought us back, but ever since then, there have been 50 hours of TV programming for Marvel, and that is a lot to keep up with, but they are pulling the plug, guys, and they want 18 episodes for this series, of course. They haven't only been struggling over at Marvel, but they also were struggling a little bit with Star Wars. A lot of people didn't like Book of Boba Fett. Ahsoka had some good reception, but some complaints as well. So they're going ahead and doing a reboot of this show. Now, they were less than enthused by what was shot so far, and they're hitting a full reset. That's crazy to me. You know, after creative development clashed and burned with Secret Invasion, let's be real, they're revamping the way they're making TV. Showrunners, pilots, and Bibles will now be used by the company that famously eschewed the traditional TV making model. Still no news or updates of if Foggy and Karen will be involved. Of course, that could always be something that maybe is revealed later on. Maybe they'll have a cameo, maybe they will be included. But my biggest suggestion here, guys, is they should just go for the team that was working on the Daredevil Netflix series. What was so good about the Daredevil Netflix series is that while it was loosely a part of the MCU, it still felt like its own universe, and it allowed them the chance to become more gritty, more mature, more dark, and allow for a bloodier Marvel experience. And I think that's where they need to move back toward. And if this is where the show was not going, then I think this move is a positive step in the right direction for Marvel. They really gotta step back into Daredevil and really give us the Daredevil from the Netflix series that we know and love, because it would be a step down if we got to this season of Daredevil and it ended up being goofy or funny or weird. I liked what they had to present with Daredevil and She-Hulk. Of course, there wasn't enough time with Matt Murdock in that capacity, but from what we got, I really enjoyed that suit. Of course, Charlie Cox was great at coming back in the role, and I really liked his fight scene in that one. I thought it felt a little bit to me more like a tribute or a reference or a bit of like a cameo of the hallway fights from the original Daredevil series. series, and I love that. I thought that they did a good job of capturing that energy in such a small frame, but of course it was not as good as the Netflix one take. I mean, we remember that Netflix one take Daredevil hallway fighting, that's another caliber, but I love that they referenced that, and I hope that we get an energy similar to that here. But it sounds like Marvel on their TV side of things wants to hit the reset button and really move forward with a different creative direction, with something that's going to stand out with people, because where they're at right now, unfortunately, things are not working. Guys, you let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think about this update? Daredevil changing completely. They're changing the script. They're hitting that reset button, and they are overhauling their TV business. The days of Marvel shooting the entire show like She-Hulk and Secret Invasion and looking at what's working and what's not, those days are over. They're going to be assessing things in the beginning now, which makes a lot of sense. Let me know your thoughts, guys, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below for more Marvel updates, more movie reviews, and more movie-based content, guys. We'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.